I used to be the kid in school who was a people pleaser. He wanted to become someone he was not. That meaning he tried to be the popular kid, he tried to fit in groups that he didn't even want to fit into. He just did everything in his power to feel like he belonged. And that during my years in high school, this was specifically in high school, it made me feel upset like a lot. I was genuinely hurt by the fact that I knew I was a good person. I knew I wanted to be in these friendship groups and I wanted to be a part of something else. But every time I tried to, it felt like no one wanted me in there. And it got to sixth form. So if you don't know, in the UK, sixth form is like a higher level than college, but lower than university. And when we was in sixth form, I saw these big groups. So in high school, there was kind of bigger groups with like 20 people. And I saw these groups split into smaller groups. And that was because everyone got a bit much more mature. No one was trying to impress anybody. No one was trying to be friends with everybody. They just genuinely wanted to speak to the people that they wanted to speak to. And this came with a realization for myself that, oh wait, everyone else is speaking to who they want to speak to. That's weird. I always thought I have to, be friends with everyone and people please, etc. And that started a chain reaction for myself. This is where the kind of title, thumbnail, and the reason why you clicked on the video matters. Okay? And with that realization, this was the first step to understanding what I'm about to talk about. So from there, I didn't speak to people that I didn't want to speak to. I didn't do homework that I didn't want to do because I felt like I already knew the topic already. And I just started to be a bit more me. Like I wasn't myself at all. I was just parts of everyone else I saw do it, like whatever aspect of my life it was. I was just parts of everyone else because I wanted to be everyone else except myself. Now that sounds fucked when I speak about that right now. So after that idea of, oh wait, I don't have to speak to these people, blah, 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 I started my first business because I was like, oh, these people want to go to university. I don't. Why do I have to go? And I started my first business. So this story of saying from A to B that I just explained in 2 minutes comes up again in entrepreneurship recently. So in my around second year of entrepreneurship, I started to do the exact same thing. I started to post content that I felt like other people would like. I started to post content that other people were posting. I started to even become that person again, someone who tried to people please. I started to build businesses that hopefully, I could copy from other people. And it led me down a path once again of removing myself from myself, like just being parts of everyone else. Now, this gets me to my main point. And eventually I realized what I was doing because I'd seen the pattern before. I was lucky enough to understand it, before that became destructive in my business. And I only started to see success and things work out for me when I trusted myself. As cliche as that sounds, as generic and basic as that sounds, I want to go a bit more deeper into it because, and this is where I'm going to get you here, every single person that I have worked with over the past year of running Timeless specifically has this problem. And this problem is asking questions like, oh, is this good? Should I do this? I'm not sure if I should do this. Guys, what do you think of this? Is it good? The first question you should be asking yourself is to yourself, not to me. Because you have to be very self-analytical. You have to understand what your mind is capable of. And when I started to do that for myself, I went from this bad, negative mental space of, trying to do things, failing, and then eventually I got to a point of, when I tried another thing, my brain would tell me, oh, of course it's not going to work. And I'd operate on that subconsciously. I wouldn't even know. And I broke out of that. The day I broke out of that, the day I got results. The day I made my first sale. The day whatever happened on that day specifically. Okay? And my community members are doing the same thing. On these calls, they're afraid to ask questions because they don't want to look like, oh, I'm a beg. Trusting yourself is the reason, trusting myself is the reason why I have now made 5 figures out of my business and we are approaching 6 figures. So what does that look like in a situation? Okay, I'll give you an example. We have hosted, me, my friend Seth have hosted 4 events, or 3, this is the part of the story, 3 events, okay? In-person masterminds with creators and entrepreneurs. And for the 4th one that we planned in around February time, it was bound to happen in March, okay? And when we went to do the campaign, so it wasn't structured, it was just kind of like, okay, cool, let's just post some reels about talking about this event, promoting it, getting more people involved, etc. The first week, we got like 5 sign-ups. And from then, this is the difference now, from then, Seth kept on posting reels. He kept on posting stories. He kept talking about this thing. I just sat back and did the work that wasn't necessary. It was like back-end work, things that people wouldn't really see until the event. Because I was like, oh, if I try post this reel, of course no one's going to join. And I started to do it again and again. So Seth had started to get more members than me. Of course, it's not a competition, but just in this scenario. And then it got to the 1 week before, where I was like, what? We've got 50 people signed up. Or like, I think it was like 60 or 70 people signed up. And that had come from Seth trusting himself to do this. He had no plan because I was with him. We had no plan. And the moment I started to trust myself, I posted the reels. I put up the story sequences. I didn't care. I didn't ask anyone if this was the right thing to do. I didn't look for approval in anyone else's, okay, is this the right way to post this reel? And we did it. We sold out. That is the power of trusting yourself. I can't fathom how... I just can't even say how powerful this is. Because you are self-sabotaging. It took me a good friend to, I watched her YouTube video and she was talking about this. And I was like, oh, I've never self-sabotaged. That sounds like a weird thing to do. Like, why would you do that? And then my brain started to go and think about it over the weeks. And I was as well. I still catch myself doing it. When you catch yourself thinking, oh, this isn't going to work, or why would I even try this thing? It's not going to work. Or this is bad. Or don't try it because you'll probably fail. That's when you need to catch yourself out. Because the confidence you're looking for is not in the result. To put it simply, if you think that, okay, when I get this, I'm going to be more confident, it will never work like that. You know why? Because the version of you who has this result that you're really trying to push towards and get is confident. So if I do the same things that this person does, I'm going to get the same results. But if I try the things and say, oh, when I get the result, like I'm going to be this person, that you seem to get stuck. Like you keep going back and forth. Maybe you see some wins, you see a lot of losses, but you're stuck. You can't reach this thing. There is a very amazing framework. I'm not sure where it comes from. Maybe it's my friend who made it up. It's called Be, Do, Have. It's very simple. It's 3 steps to getting whatever you want in this life. Okay? Be, step 1. Be the person who has X, Y, Z. So this starts with your unfinished mission. If you don't know, I'll bring it out here. This is what we call a timeless, your unfinished mission, okay? And that's realizing that the point of the mission / the goal isn't to reach the goal. The point is to start. And realizing that if you keep saying, when I get this, I'll be happy, there will be another thing after that. I saw it with my mum. She wanted to DJ. And I bought her a DJ deck. And things were going on at the time, so it was very stressful for her. And she said, oh, when we move into this new house that we're currently living in, I'm going to start DJing. I said, all right, well, I bought you the deck, so I guess it's all yours now. We moved into this house. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months passed by, and she still hasn't done it. I said, Mum, like, why haven't you DJed? Now's the time, you said. And then she said, oh, when I kind of have enough money to get a tutor. I was like, what do you mean? But you said before that you're going to do this thing once you get this. And then I made her realize that this is the perfect time to start, or not start and stop thinking about it. B, find what that person does. Find who that person is. Because then you will realize that forget the goal. Forget the goal. The goal is to become the person. The goal is to enjoy the mission. Because there will never be a time in your life that you will achieve something and then be like, oh, great, that's it, done. B, do. So now you know who this person is, the person who has this goal. Do what they do. Reverse engineer the inputs. Okay, Richard in 3 months does 100 voice notes per week. He posts 5 times a week on Instagram, 21 times on LinkedIn, 2 YouTube videos per week, 3 story sequences a week. He does that when he's got the result. So I've got to do that now. Otherwise, I'm not going to get there. There is no alignment in these 2 characters. Do. That's the one thing stopping you. Because you don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself enough to think. You have this map, okay? You have this map. And you see it. You plan it out. But when it comes to actually doing it, your brain tells you, oh, you failed before. Or you're not good enough. Like, even if you execute this, of course it's going to go wrong. Do it because it's the right thing. If you fail, then you have learned what doesn't work. Do. Trusting yourself to do the thing. It's the only thing that's going to get you the result. Doing the thing. Let alone, okay, finding out what that person has, but doing the thing. Okay? And the last step. Have. You will have the result. There is, get this. I hate this language. When my community members use this, my business partner might use this, my friends use this. When they say, if I get the result, if this happens, you have lost already. None of the things I just spoke about for the past 12 minutes apply to you, okay? None of it. 0. Because it is not a case of if. I just told you. And you might have realized that yourself. I just told you, if I do the things that this person has, I'm going to get the results that they have. So where is the if in this equation? Trust yourself. Please. Because I was once that kid who never trusted himself. The story I told you at the start, I didn't trust myself to be myself. I thought I was a loser, so I had to become someone I wasn't. Understand that you have the potential. Pretty much everyone does. It's just a case of understanding that, okay, I have the potential, which means I know what to do, and no one's going to stop me. No matter if I fail, this is part of it. Everything will happen for a reason. There is no if, it's just when. Just when. So the next time you say to a friend or speak to a business partner, or you're in a client call, or you're in a coaching call where you're getting coached, never use the language if. Just say when. Because your time will come. My time is coming. The time for me to get the results that I've been wanting for the past 2 years has come. And I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But when it happens, I will sit there looking back at what I did and saying, damn, there is not one thought in my mind that I let get a hold of me to convince me if. If is irrelevant. It's just when. And if you can carry that self-belief with you and trust that you're going to figure this shit out, that's it. There is no if. Trust yourself and you will get the results. Stop thinking otherwise. Oh, what if this happens? What if this happens? Fine. If that happens, great. I'm going to do it all over again or get over it. Cool. That's all I wanted to speak about. I just thought I'd yap for a couple minutes. If you like this video, the philosophy that I'm speaking about, please subscribe, like the video. I have more like this, and I will see you in the next one.